Hi, my name's Carly, and I'd like to give glory to God.
Hi, my name is Vincent, and I'd like to give glory to God.
Hi, my name is DJ, and I'd like to give glory to God.
And I can proudly say that I am a biracial, white, Chinese American woman. I don't know when it was that I started to consider myself to be biracial, to be multi-ethnic. I think growing up, I didn't really consider this much. My parents never really talked to me about it, and I kind of just checked off boxes. And so coming to college, I started to explore this idea that I was multi-ethnic, that I was biracial, and started wondering like what that actually meant for me. And I would talk to some people, but most of the people that I talked to were of one ethnicity, and they had a lot to tell me and share with me about what that meant for them. But I really started to engage with this when I started talking about this topic with my friend Jada, who is also biracial. I'm also mixed. I am also biracial. Yeah, and it wasn't until I came into college that I started having explicit conversations about my ethnicity, my ethnic identity. I don't even think I knew what ethnic identity meant until coming to college and starting to explore this new idea that I was hearing about from InterVersity. And I would have conversations with people, and I just, would introduce myself as like I'm half white and half Chinese. But I think as I continued to explore this topic more, I started to be able to consider myself 100% Chinese and 100% white, to be able to claim both as my own and be fully each in my multi-ethnicity. And it was going to Chicago on a missions trip this spring that I really took pride in that. And that was really affirmed for me at CUP. And now I can really see the beauty in my multi-ethnicity and be able to share that with other people, to hear from other people and hear how their ethnic journey has shaped their story, and really learn from them. I think when I hear from people of a Chinese ancestry, I'm able to take something away from their story to identify and resonate with. And then when I talk to people of a white identity, I'm able to take something away from their story as well. And so I really appreciate talking to people about their ethnic journeys, about their ethnic identities, and I look forward to what God will do in my ethnic identity from here on out.
I'm a sophomore, and this was my first year on leadership, and I led a recently revived South Asian small group. God has been working in my ethnic identity as a South Asian throughout the entire year, especially during my spring missions trip to Chicago. Shout out to the CUP team. I wrestled with what it really means to be South Asian, and through this, God was calling me out on how I really didn't love my brothers and sisters who are South Asian fully. So then, studying Nehemiah at Leaders Retreat really resonated with me, because Nehemiah went to God and was able to develop a passion for his people despite him not being connected to them. So I have been aspiring to do the same thing for my fellow South Asian peeps, and it's been an amazing journey so far.
This year is the first step that I've ever taken into engaging with my ethnic identity. Growing up like as a fourth generation Japanese American, I felt like really disconnected from my culture, and I thought it just like wasn't an important part of who I was. But going to Chicago was the first step in me like recognizing that the way God made me was deliberate, and being Japanese American was a very big and important part of that. So in Chicago, we learned a lot about why our ethnicity mattered and why God made everything about us very deliberately and intentionally. And I think coming back with that knowledge from Chicago, one of the first things I did was try to sign up for an Asian American history class, because as someone told me in Chicago, like, no history, no self, right? Meaning that if you know your history, you know yourself. If you don't know your history, then you have like no self, right? And so for me, a really practical step was trying to learn about like how Asian Americans came to this country and like all the history of racism and things like that. And that's been a really good journey, and I've definitely learned a lot about myself and about the way that God's created me. I think one of the things that I learned about my community as Japanese Americans and just like East Asians in general is that a lot of times it's hard for us to like be honest about ourselves and be vulnerable and give up control to God. And that's something that I definitely struggle with a lot. And so I think if you struggle with that too, I would definitely encourage you to look into how ethnic identity might play a part of that. And I feel like that was really helpful for me to learn. And I'm still like trying to learn how to be more vulnerable and give up control to God. But yeah.
Oh yeah, my name's Shayda and I'd like to give glory to God. Here at InterVarsity has been a really good place for me to express my love for Jesus and Beyonce at the same time. I just felt really empowered to share about Queen Bee and not felt judged about it.